Lake of fire. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And the Spirit's been on me lately to go into the lake of fire because, throughout, the years and throughout these different Christian or these Catholic churches, they have taught their congregations, and even at one point, I believe that some of these false Israelite groups have taught that the lake of fire is a place where you pretty much burn for all eternity, which simply is not true. Okay, and we here at Great Millstone, we know that there's no such place as hell where you burn forever. Okay, and we've done many videos proving that when everyone dies, whether wicked or righteous, which there's no such thing as a righteous person on this side, but when you die, your spirit leaves this body and it goes back to the spirit world where it is paradise. So there ain't no such place as hell where people burn forever. Okay. Furthermore, we know that the lake of fire is a place that is here on the planet Earth. Okay? And it's not inside the earth. No. It's a country, a particular country that's going to be turned into a lake of fire. You see? Because what John the Revelator is seeing here in a vision is a country, a particular country that is being turned into a lake of fire. And many people are unaware of it. But there is a country on this planet that is prophesied to be completely wiped out from the face of the earth. And this country that's going to be wiped out from the face of the earth, that is the country that's going to be the lake of fire. And how is that country going to become a lake of fire? Well, everything is explained here in the Holy Scriptures. So when we come over here to the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter, the first verse, okay, the heading here of this chapter is what? The doom of Babylon. Okay. Now, before I continue, let's open up another window here. Okay. And let's go to Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. And let's read this. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay. Now, the reason why this country is known as the virgin daughter of Babylon right? It's because this is the only country that have not been touched by any other country upon the face of the earth. Okay, and a matter of fact, okay, a virgin is a woman who has not been touched by any man. Okay, so we could say that this country known as America has not been touched by any other country concerning war. Okay, this is the only country, you know, that has not been, you know, hit with warfare, war stricken, you know. Even Russia, who at one point was a Soviet Union, was taken down by the United States, where the USSR was set up. You know, the USSR was America's idea. You see that? You know, Europe has also been through war before. Okay, World War One, Europe was stricken by war. You know, Africa has been attacked before. The Middle East has been attacked before. Okay, so this is the only country that has not been struck by any other country upon the face of the earth. And that's why this country is known as a virgin, because it has not been touched by these other countries. Okay, so it says, sit on the ground, there is no throne or daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Okay, so we know that Babylon is America. Now, furthermore, when we look up the word Babylon, right, what does Babylon mean? Babylon literally means, well, Babylon goes back to the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion. Okay, now, what country on this planet causes great confusion? Well, that's America. Okay, the word confuse, when you actually break it down, which is a compound word, the word confuse, con meaning with, then you got fuse, which means together. The word fuse means to bring together. Okay, and this is the only country, excuse me, this is the only country upon the face of the earth that brings together every religion under the sun. Okay, a Muslim can come over here and be a Muslim, you know. A Hindu can come over here and be a Hindu. America basically has every religion you could think of. Hinduism, Buddhism, you got Buddhists who live here in America, Hindus that live here in America, okay? You got Africans that live over here in America, worshiping their Egyptian gods, okay? You got Catholics, you got Christians, you got Moors that live over here. You got Islamics that live over here. Okay. America is literally a big cesspool of confusion, fusing, basically having all of these other religions, you know? And you don't really hear about these other countries doing that, you know? America's the only country that basically allows various different religious people to come over here, set up shop, profit, live lavishly, you know, and you know, live lavishly while basically worshiping their gods. You got heathens over here, even as I speak, worshiping Ashtaroth, Shiva, you know. So this is literally the country of great confusion. You're not going to hear about over there in the Middle East of Hindus living amongst Islamics, or Africans that worship Egyptian gods, living amongst the Buddhists, or living amongst the monks in China. You know, you're not going to hear about a person who worships Allah living amongst the Africans in Africa, but you'll hear about those kind of things here in America, you know. Cause see, in India, if you live in India, you have to worship their god. If you live in China, you got to worship their god, Kimash, you know, Buddha, you know, you know. You live amongst the Ishmaelites, you got to worship Mecca, Allah, you know. Every country have their own gods, but as soon as you come over here to America, it is a big cesspool of a mixture of different religions. And then on top of that, you got moles and transformers walking around. Confusion. Okay? You know, this is the main country where GMO foods are created, air is poisoned, water poisoned. So this is the literally the country of great confusion. So that's also how we know that America is Babylon. Also, ancient Babylon was known for what? Having a great vast army. Okay? Yeah, America was known for having a great vast army. Babylon had a great vast army, you know. The only difference is that ancient Babylon had walls. This country don't have walls. Okay? So, you know, here's another indication that America, well, you know what? You know what? Before I get that in Jeremiah, let's come back over here to Revelation, okay? So the doom of Babylon. So, you know, we can confirm that America is modern day Babylon. So Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right? Now, ancient Babylon was already, you know, taken down out of power long after John the Revelator came on the scene, because the book of Revelation was written by John the Revelator. So this is talking about a new Babylon, okay? Which this new Babylon is America, okay? This is not talking about because no, there was no other Babylon that was built during the time of John the Revelator, okay? So this is talking about a future Babylon, because after the Roman Empire, then it became the Christian Roman Empire, and then what? Then we have the Dark Ages, where we ruled for a period of 1,000 years. Okay, and we ruled parts of Europe and Germany, Turkey, Russia, you know. Then you had the Northern Kingdom, which had rule and control over the Americas. You see? And during that time, Esau Edom, he was in captivity. So there 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 was no Babylon during the time of the Dark Ages. There was no Babylon during the Christian Roman Empire. So when did this new Babylon come about? Well, it came about after the Renaissance period. Okay, after slavery was emancipated, the new Babylon was established, which we also know it to be the rebirth of the Roman Empire. Okay, which that little horn spoken of in Daniel the seventh chapter. Okay, that little horn, which is the the rebirth of the Roman Empire. Okay, so the new Babylon is the United States of America, which is also known as the rebirth of the Roman Empire coming back up into power. Okay, that little horn in Daniel the seventh chapter. So here in Revelation, right, chapter 7, verse 2, whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Okay, so who's the main country upon the face of the earth where these other nations come to make big profits and then to go back to their countries being rich for the rest of their life? America. Okay. And yeah, the kings of the earth have committed fornication with this country. Okay. And what's an example of that fornication? Taking on her philosophies. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's get that in Habakkuk real quick. Okay. Habakkuk 2, verse 4. Sorry, I misspelled that. Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Okay. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right? The soul in these Edomites are not upright in them. Okay. There's not one that doeth good, as it is written. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. Okay, what is that wine? That's those are the philosophies of Babylon. Okay, because remember, Babylon is a confusion of many different religions, especially Babylon is a confusion of many different religions and idol worships. Okay, so that means that a lot of America's traditions are based on the traditions of these different heathens. Okay, homosexuality, where does that come from? The Egyptians. Okay, transformer, lesbianism, pedophilia, it all comes from the Egyptians. You know, but yeah, doest thou wilt. That's the Aleister Crowley doctrine, right? A woman could be over a man. A woman could wear pants. Women can have authority and rights and all this other shit. which again, women being over men really goes back to the Egyptians. Okay? You know? And what do you see? What do you see in these different countries? What do you see in Japan? What do you see in China? What do you see in some of these Arabic countries? What do you see in some of these African countries? You see women with authority, with rights, ruling over the man. You see moles in some of these other countries. Well, I mean, forget about those Sudanese. Okay, they're just naturally moles. But you got moles in Japan. You got Transformers in China. You got McDonald's in Australia. Where did McDonald's first start at? Here in America. Where did skyscrapers first start at? Here in America. The first skyscraper, in a matter of fact, was built in Chicago. And that's according to the research I've done before in the past. Okay? You know? And now what do you see in these other countries? You see skyscrapers in Dubai. You got skyscrapers in China, skyscrapers in Japan, skyscrapers in Iraq, Afghanistan. You got skyscrapers down in Africa and Australia. Come on, man. So, yea, because he transgressed about wine, he is a proud man. So, a lot of these wicked and bad habits, which started here in America, has spread it throughout all of the world, right? Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Okay. Also, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse. I know it's one of these. Here we go. Jeremiah 51, verse 7, right? Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Drunken off of what? Off of their philosophies, okay? Which is that doest thou wilt, which a part of America's philosophies? Homosexuality, adultery, murder, deceit, lies, okay? You see? It says, the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, yeah, because every nation that have taken on the philosophies of America have lost their minds, man. That they basically that their religion is broken, you know, because they drunk of that serpent's juice. Now they got out of order women, they got GMO foods, they got skyscrapers, they got moles walking around, men that have been effeminized, concrete jungles. Okay, so that pretty much proves the point. No, explaining how the kings have committed fornication with Babylon, and the inhabitants of the earth are made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Yeah, because they have taken on the philosophies of America. You know, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast. Now, for those that don't know, scarlet is another color for red, but let's just type it in anyway, because um earlier, I was looking for the natal picture, and I kept getting a whole bunch of incorrect depictions of Revelation, the 17th chapter, right? So let's type in scarlet definition, and here you go. Scarlet, of a brilliant red color, a brilliant red color, as you see right there, scarlet. And we know that red is synonymous with Edom. Okay, Edom, who is Esau, is Edom. Now, when you look up Edom in the Hebrew, it goes back to the Hebrew word Adawam, which means red. Okay, and Esau was called red because of the blood that showed forth through his skin. Why? Because his skin was translucent. When your skin is translucent, you have no melanin in your skin. And basically, people can see the white meat underneath your skin. And because we know that so-called white people predominantly come from Esau, okay? Whenever they get angry, upset, mad, fused, embarrassed, smacked, punched, or especially when they stand out in a super hot blazing sun for too long, what happens? The blood starts to show forth through their white meat. And they start to turn red because of the blood that's shown forth underneath their skin, their translucent skin. Okay? So scarlet is synonymous with Edom. But this is a scarlet colored beast here. So this scarlet colored beast is not necessarily talking about a man. This is talking about a kingdom, as you will read further down. And this woman here is not talking about an actual woman. It is a metaphor. So this scarlet colored beast is a metaphor for a particular country. And this woman is a metaphor for a particular country, all right? So it says, full of the names of blasphemy, right? Having 7 heads and 10 horns. So when you do your research, right, you'll find out that this scarlet colored beast is a kingdom. Okay? Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find a bigger image in high definition for this. But you see it right here, okay? These are the philosophies that America run by, right? Which is what? Democracy, religion, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, okay? Murder. I don't know what that C word is because it's not in high definition. But as you see right here, right? The 7 heads are 7 governments or 7 kingdoms ruled by Esau. Now remember, the scarlet is an indication of who would be ruling over these kingdoms. So when they say scarlet colored beast, it literally means that this beast would be ruled by Esau, who is Edom. As you see up here, right? 7 heads, right? 7 governments or 7 kingdoms ruled by Esau, who is Edom. Okay. So that's who these 7 kingdoms or governments are ruled by, which is who? Germania Major, the Romans, the French, as you see right there, Spanish, Germania Minor, the British, and the Greeks. And the 10 horns are actually 10 cities, which make up the European Economic Market or the European Union. As you see right here. Okay, so I have a lot of these cities memorized as I've looked at this several times before in the past. Okay, so you have Belgium, for the first one. You have Denmark, you have France, you have Italy, you have Luxembourg, you have the Netherlands, you have Greece, you have Spain and Portugal, you have England and Ireland, and you have New Germany. Okay. And NATO is the acronym for what? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Okay. And this is the country that America is in cahoots with. You see that? And as you read further down, you'll find out that America is that great whore, right? So let's continue reading. It says, and a woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. Scarlet, right? Which indicates what? That America would predominantly be ruled by Esau Edom. So the woman was arrayed in purple, which purple is a color of royalty, indicating what? In the last days, Esau will have the fatness of the earth, but he would especially have control over America. So when you're dressed in purple, right? Purple is a color of royalty. So this woman was dressed in royalty in scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Okay? And upon her head was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay? And this country is the biggest producer of sluts, hoes, whores, and bitches. Okay? And Europe is right behind them, but America is the #1 country. Okay? You got people, you got people riding bikes and running down the street naked and shit, rods swinging left and right, breasts bouncing up and down. This is the country of abominations and filthiness. Okay? Pedophilia is heavy here. Bestiality is heavy here. Incest is heavy here. Okay? Homosexuality is heavy here. Transformers. We got men having sex with transformers. And you should know what I mean by transformers, okay? Okay? You got people having sex with robots, having sexual relations with AI. Come on, man. Sex dolls, pussy pockets. This is the country of abominations. Okay? GMO foods, that's abominations. The fact that they put pork in lots of foods that we eat, abominations. I mean, and the list just goes on and on. The air that we breathe in is abomination. I mean, who knows what they're spraying in the air nowadays? We know that they've sprayed the Maxine in the air before. Excuse me. They sprayed the JAB in the air before. They're spraying mercury, barium, arsenic, aluminum, estrogen. They're spraying all kind of chemicals in the air. So this is the country of abominations of the earth and the mother of harlots. Okay, this is that country. As a matter of fact, GMO foods are banned in many other countries. Russia, I know for a fact, bans GMO foods. But it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So now that we know who the beast and who Babylon is, let's scroll down. Okay? Because it's important for you to know who the 10 horns are. Because the 10 horns are going to partake in the destruction of the country that's going to be turned into a lake of fire. And soon we're going to learn and find out what country that lake of fire is. So Revelation 17 verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples, and we know the whore to be Babylon, which is America, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, remember these 10 horns are 10 cities, okay? Denmark, Belgium, Netherlands, Ireland, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, New Germany, England, okay, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg. I already said Spain and Portugal, right? England and Ireland, New Germany. Yeah, these 10 cities, right? So the 10 horns, which are the 10 cities, which are the European Union or the European Economic Community, which thou sawest upon the beast, right? The 7 heads, which the 7 heads are 7 kingdoms or 7 governments ruled by Esau. These shall hate the whore, right? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Where's that fire going to come from? The nukes. So now we know that the great whore, which is America, is that lake of fire. Okay? And to further confirm that NATO is going to turn on America, let's go to Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy. What is a confederacy? A confederacy is a alliance. And right now, as it stands, NATO is in alliance with America. Remember, America and NATO are in cahoots with one another. And America is using NATO to further police and oppress the world. Because NATO is no pushover. You know, they have a powerful military. You know, and they also have weapons of mass destruction, such as nuclear warheads, ICBMs. Okay? Whew, excuse me. Okay? It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the borders. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. How are they going to prevail against America? By shooting nukes on this place, right? They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Okay? There is none understanding. Okay? And to further show you that this is talking about Esau, who currently has rule over Babylon the Great and NATO, right? Shall I not in that day save the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? See that? Because you had to be a fool to turn on your own, right? But again, we're talking about the wicked here. And Esau has a history of turning on himself, fighting amongst himself, going to war against himself. You know, all you have to do is just study the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Empire. They was at war with each other. Okay, the triumvirate. You know, which the triumvirate. I forgot the other guy's name, but I know it was Mark. One of them was Anthony Julius, and I forgot the other one. I forgot his name. I might have to go back and research it. But yeah, the triumvirate. You know, I forgot the name of the guy who betrayed. He betrayed. The guy's name was Marcus Anthony. I can't remember, but I know he turned on him and assassinated him. You know. There was all kind of assassinations going on within the Senate, you know. But Esau has a history of turning on himself, man. Betrayal. So what makes you think it's going to be any different now? What did Yahushua say in the book of Matthew? Let's go there real quick. Matthew chapter 12, verse. I think let's start here. Let's see. Matthew chapter 25, Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So you see, this, the fact that Russia is about to go to war against America, NATO is going to turn on America, and basically they're going to shoot nukes on America. China's going to shoot nukes on America. North Korea, Iran, they're going to shoot nukes on America. The fact that Esau is divided against himself shows you that the Lord has destroyed the wise men out of Edom. You had to be a fool to fight against your own nation and be divided. You're all supposed to be working together. But nah. Esau's a power-hungry monster. Esau's a power-hungry monkey. He wants to be that dude to be at the top. He don't want any of his other kind to have power. But anyways, let's read Revelation 17, verse 17. For Yahweh had put it in their minds to fulfill his will and agreed to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Okay? And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. There you go. Let's go to Jeremiah. Okay? Chapter 50, verse 14. And then let's come over here and let's get Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. So Jeremiah 50, verse 14. So what's going to turn this country into a lake of fire? It's going to be the intercontinental ballistic missiles. Now, before I further continue reading there, let's go to the KJV real quick. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse. I'm not sure what the. The Lord led me right to it. But you know what? We're going to start at verse 12. So let's read verse 12 first. So Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14, showing you that the intercontinental ballistic missiles, which is going to be carrying multiple nuclear warheads, that's what's going to turn America into a lake of fire. So we can definitely confirm that the lake of fire is on the earth. A particular country on the earth that we know as Babylon, which is the United States of America. Jeremiah 50, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. You see that? Spare no arrows. And what are those arrows? Well, those arrows is a dark saying, a metaphor for intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBM missiles. And to further prove that, let's come over here to 2nd Esdras 16, verse 12. The earth quaketh. What's going to make the earth quake? When those intercontinental ballistic missiles hit this planet, hit this country. And the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. and the fishes thereof before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they what? Begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Now, this is talking about an arrow traveling from one country to another. That's what this is talking about. Now, who can physically shoot an actual arrow from one country to another? Nobody. But when you look at a missile, right? A missile literally takes the shape and form of an arrow. Okay? Hold on, I just saw an article there that caught my attention. How serious is the Russian nuclear threat? The sources say weapons being developed to attack U.S. satellites. Okay, so let's go to Google. Joe Biden looks like a confused old bastard who's ready to croak over and die. ICBM missile. And when you look at a missile, right, they literally take the shape and form of an arrow. You see how you got the spearhead, you got the body, and then the back you have what? You have the what do they call those? The not the propellers, but the fins. Okay? Let's click on this image right here. See that? Now, we know that during the time of Jeremiah, during the time of Isaiah, during the time of Esdras, ICBM missiles did not exist. So the best way they could describe a ICBM missile in the vision which they saw was an arrow, because these missiles literally take the shape and form of arrows. Let's type in arrows. Okay. Look at that. See that? You got spearhead, you got the body, and then you got the fins at the bottom, which the fins serve to help where the arrow will travel after you shoot it. It also controls velocity. Okay? I mean, if you shoot an arrow, you would want it to go straight, right? Which is why they would have like they would have three fins on the back. And those fins will help the arrow to maintain the direction in which it was shot at. Okay? See if we can find some more images here. Okay. This kind of gives you a bit more of an idea of, arrows. Especially the arrows that the so-called Native Indians would shoot off. Okay, check that out. See how you got the three fins on the back? That helps to control the direction of where the arrow's heading after it's shot off. And that's what you see when you look at missiles, okay? When you look at an ICBM missile, that's exactly what you see. You see the fins. You see how they got the three fins on the back here? Well, it's probably four. But this helps to control the direction in which the missiles are going in. You got the spearhead, you got the body, then you got the fins at the bottom. Let's see. So the best way the prophets of old could describe these intercontinental ballistic missiles was arrows. See, this one even looks like an arrow. Look at it. Okay, so that pretty much proves the point. The arrows that's going to travel from one country to another are the intercontinental ballistic arrows. So if we come back over here, right? It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows." Meaning what? Don't spare any of your intercontinental ballistic missiles. Shoot them all off. Because that's what Russia's going to do. Russia is going to shoot off all of their intercontinental ballistic missiles. For she have sinned against the Lord. There you go. Okay. And then if we come over here, right? Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. "And Babylon, which is America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And how was ancient Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? By fire and brimstone. Okay? Ancient Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire and brimstone. Okay? So modern day Babylon is going to be destroyed by fire and brimstone. Now, ancient Babylon did not go out by fire. Okay? It was, in a matter of fact, of which ancient Babylon was originally ruled by Hamites, but they was taken over by the Persian and the Medes. Okay, and then after them, they was taken down by the Greeks. So ancient Babylon did not go out by fire. You know? Okay? But this Babylon is going to go out by fire. "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there." Right? Because you got a lot of Arabs who come over here, they set up their shops, which is their tents, right? And they sell their merchandise. So after this country is destroyed, there ain't gonna be no more Arabs coming over here, setting up shops and all that shit. "But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there." Now, why is it describing desert-like creatures dwelling over here? Because after the fire and the smoke goes out from the nuclear destruction of Babylon, the only thing that's going to be left is a desert, which they kind of give you a depiction of that in Planet of the Apes, but they kind of went off because the Statue of Liberty was still there. But, like, they love showing you images of Mars, which I don't believe they ever sent space trash to Mars. But you look at some of the images of Mars, right? And that kind of gives you a good idea of what America's going to look like. It's going to look like a big fucking desert, okay? "So wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, her days shall not be prolonged." There you go. So now we come over here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Okay. God's wrath against the nations. "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them, he have delivered them to the slaughter." You see that? "Their slain shall be cast out," which this is going to happen over there in the Middle East, right? But while this massive war is going on over there in the Middle East, right? what's going to be happening? Nukes are going to be getting shut off. Excuse me. Okay, their slain shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, right? And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Now, what Isaiah is describing here is a mushroom cloud from a nuclear warhead. Okay? Now, when you look at the explosion of a mushroom cloud from a nuclear warhead, okay, it literally looks like the heavens are rolling together as a scroll. Okay? The smoke spreading throughout the sky. Okay? It literally looks like that the sky is rolling together as a scroll. Okay, so he's describing a mushroom cloud here, especially if you've seen it from a bird's eye view. And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. And as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Right? Now, is that talking about an actual blade on a handle? It's going to be getting washed up in the outer space? No. This sword here is talking about, is a dark saying, a metaphor for intercontinental ballistic missiles. Right? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Because when you look at the operation of how a ICBM missile operates, it shoots up into the sky, and then it goes up above the ozone layer of the earth. It travels throughout the atmosphere, well, above the atmosphere of the earth, right? And once it gets to its destination, it falls back down to the earth. That the head of the capsule comes off the missile, and multiple nuclear warheads comes raining out of the intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay, so behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, and upon the people of my curse through judgment. Okay, further proving that America is going to be a lake of fire. Peter saw the destruction. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. No, hold on. Actually, I think it might be 2 Peter. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. Okay. 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What's going to cause these elements to melt with fervent heat? It's intercontinental ballistic missiles. Because if the elements are going to be melting, right, then it's going to be molten fire as well. Because if you look at lava, right, lava is basically molten fire that coming from the earth. So all this molten fire that's going to be traveling, throughout America, it's going to come from the elements that melted from the intense heat, the extreme intense heat of intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay, all the metal, the iron, all the sidewalks, the buildings, everything you see around you is going to melt, and it's going to be turned into molten fire. Okay, like you look at metal, right? Metal was once molten fire before it was cooled and hardened, right? Plastic was once molten before it was cooled and hardened. So once that intense heat, hit these elements, everything's going to melt. Cars, street signs, you name it, right? And the word fervent means extremely hot. And everything that you see around you is made up of elements. So America, which is that lake of fire, is going to suffer from the elements melting around it. But the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Okay. And then the last scripture I would like to get is the book of Revelation, chapter 19. No, 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 no. You know what? Yeah, let's read this real quick. Revelation 19 and 20. And the beast was taken, okay, and with him the false prophet, which we know the false prophet to be the Roman Catholic Church, right? That wrought miracles before him, which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that have worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Okay. So yeah, that land over there, the land of Israel, that place is going to get nuked too during World War III. But what I really wanted to get was Revelation 18. Babylon is fallen. Okay. Here we go. So I'm just going to read this. Okay. And the kings of the earth, Revelation 18 and 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. And where's the smoke of her burning going to come from? The nukes. Okay. Standing afar off for fear of her torment. Yeah, because the heat that's going to come from this country burning is going to be intense. People's going to be able to feel their heat from miles away. Okay. Standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, which is America, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. Okay? And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise any more. Why? Because this country is going to be destroyed by that time. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and thine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manners of vessels of precious wood and brass and iron and marble and cinnamon. And where did America get all these things from? They stole it from other countries. Even though, don't get me wrong, America do produce their own things, but America has robbed a lot of these other countries of their resources. Okay? So it says, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Right. Because the ones who's going to be chick, Esau's going to have your soul, basically. Okay? It says, and the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. Now, Russia says that they have missiles that can get over here within about 45 minutes. Okay? So, in In 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried, saying, and cried when they saw the smoke of it burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Okay, so America is that country which is the lake of fire. And it's not just NATO, but it's going to be Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Germany, Turkey. All these countries are going to shoot their missiles upon America. So I pray and hope that you were edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. We know that during that time, there is going to be a great deliverance. And only the elect is going to get beamed up into what the world calls UFOs from the coming nuclear destruction. With that, I'm going to say Shalom. It's on to the next one.